My name is Kishore Chandiramani and I'm a psychiatrist based in England. Today I'm going to talk about how to stop worrying. There are a number of different techniques one can use, a number of different methods and ways of being that can help us stop worrying. But today I'm going to talk about a particular technique that I have found helpful. It's called the principle of impermanence. And this is borrowed from my experience with Vipassana Meditation, which is an intensive form of meditation. Now, someone who calls himself a worrier, if he analyzes deeply, he will find that he is not worrying all the time. There are times when he stops worrying. Now, how does one understand that? Perhaps it's only a part of one's mind that worries, and there's another part that has learned not to worry. So what one has to do is, whenever one finds himself worrying about something, he has to say to himself, you know what, I'm connected with the part of my mind that is worrying, and this is temporary, this is not permanent. And later on, during the course of the day, when he finds himself not worrying, he has to say the same thing, that you know what, I'm not worrying right now, it's because I'm connected with the non-worrying part of my mind, and that is also temporary. So it's very important to have this thought in one's mind that everything that exists in this world is temporary. Nothing is permanent. And one has to apply it to all things, all experiences, good and bad. So let's go back to the first example. When one finds himself worrying and he says that this worrying is temporary, what happens here is that the object of worry doesn't disappear, it's very much there. Maybe the worry is also there, but we are in a habit of worrying about the worry. That chain reaction stops when we know that this worry is temporary. And he doesn't have to push that worry out of one's mind. That worry can stay. And he has to say to himself that this worry is finite and my mind is infinite. In the same way, when one finds oneself not worrying and he says to himself, you know what, I'm connected with the non-worrying part of my mind, and this is also temporary. Now, when one says that I'm not worrying and this is temporary, it won't bring back the worry. But what will happen here is that a part of his mind, maybe the unconscious mind, starts preparing itself for the time when the worry comes back, and he will be able to deal with that worry more appropriately. So what we are doing here is that we are living with this feeling or thought that everything in this world is temporary, nothing is permanent. Now we all know this. I'm not saying something that you are not already aware of. But what I'm saying here is that one has to live with this thought all the time. And this thought will make us immune to stress. Say, for example, we apply this thought to all our negative experiences. When we say that this experience is temporary, what we are doing is that whatever is intolerable, it becomes tolerable because there is an end to it. And a part of your mind stops reacting to that worry. The chain reaction stops there. Now, if you apply it to good experiences, now good experiences are also temporary, whether we think about it or not. But if we have thought about it, then when the good experience comes to an end, then we can cope with it, deal with the situation better. And just because we have thought that this good experience is temporary, doesn't mean that it will disappear. We will still enjoy that good experience, but perhaps we'll appreciate it more, because the back of our mind we have this feeling that this is temporary. So it increases the enjoyment. As they say, life appears much more beautiful in contrast if we have thought about death. So we can go in more depth about it as to how the principle of impermanence helps, perhaps another day. Thank you very much. Bye.